Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you may be in the world. We want to welcome you to today. Today, 'tis the season to be merry. And for those that recognize Christmas, today is Christmas Day. Merry Christmas to you. However, whatever you celebrate, we want to recognize you. We want to honor you. We want to let you know how fabulous you are. So upon that, I am going to invite my amazing panel, and we are going to spend an hour together and celebrate. I want to welcome my amazing group here, and many of you that are buddies will recognize the panel that we have today to celebrate. And any of you service heroes, wink, wink, that have been out there and have joined us on Christmas shows. Yes, we've had this group here before. We've celebrated many a holiday together. In fact, I have to say, Skip is honoring us with his traditional holiday gear in his hearts. Love it, love it, love it. So I am going to go around the horn. I'm going to let everybody say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to those that are joining us. And we have some right now that I want to recognize them coming on. Thank you, Caroline. Christopher Kingston, we absolutely adore you. Helene Wilson, great that you're here with us. And you'll be seeing them chat with each other, and we encourage that here on the show. So I am going to let everybody say who they are, where they are, and a little holiday greeting, and then we're going to get into it. So, Caroline, I'm going to start with you.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show of the Holly Jolly Holidays. My name is Carolyn Brown, and I come to you live from Canada. And my message to you is a Merry Christmas and many blessings to you all.
Awesome. Andrea?
Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And I'm just so glad to be here with everyone today. And on this special, wonderful day of Christmas, I just pray that we all find peace in our beautiful lives and that we can count us all ourselves as blessed.
Thank you. So beautifully said. So beautiful. Skip?
Hello, everybody. My gosh, I mean, faces. We go back a few years, all of you, and I'm really moved on this beautiful season to be, joining you guys. So thank you for the invitation. I got my little tour of love hearts. I've kept them handy. We are going, we've been around the block a few times on many things in private groups, and I'm just thrilled to be back and see your faces. And again, it's about celebrating success and us being here today and being united in the things, the inspiration, as it said in the graphics, of so many people. I'm in the Ozarks, got um, my little Daniel Boone cap on, and in a log cabin in the Ozark Mountains of Arkansas, and it's been kind of cold. We have frozen pipes here a little bit. It's not too bad. It's going to get warm up and thaw out, but I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled to be a part of this. So thank you, Tamara, and thank you for all you've been doing, and all of what you've been doing for the last several years. All of
Well,
you.
thank you. Thank you. Great to have you with us. And Barbara, we're rounding out with you.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, or anything that you celebrate. I am so honored to be here with these lovely people, the kings and queens. We got Mr. Skip. I'm like, wow, Skip, I haven't seen him in years. Tamara, thank you just for being the angel and the queen that you are. Every time you call, I want to be there to be with you. I want to be with everybody. This is a gift to me being on the show today for Christmas. And, I just honor everybody out there. And my word for today and forever that I've been talking about since I woke up this morning is love. Love is the gift to the world, and love is needed right now. I'm calling in from Kenosha, Wisconsin, where we finally got over a degree and not minus. So we're kind of like, I think we're at 7 degrees right now. So I'm glad I'm in the house. So thank you.
Wow.
There you go. And for those of you that don't know, my name is Tamara Hunter, and yes, I am your host. However, I am one of this group, and I'm proud of it. We are a collective that believes in helping those that are affected by cancer and other life-changing health events. We've added more to the mission, and in it, we have created the Tour of Love. And right here is a lot of the team of Tour of Love. You're going to be seeing a lot of that coming here soon. Wink, wink, when the thawing takes place. I'll say that. And I am here also from the Ozarks now, moved from West Coast, and am loving it. I am more up towards the Missouri end of things. And so that rounds our team. And before we go into it very much more, we had one other that was going to be joining us, and she said something that I think you guys are all going to be enjoying here. So without further ado, let's hear from Brooke and Jack. Wink, wink.
Hey, groovy buddies. Do you know what time it is?
It's jingle joke time!
Hey, Jack. Do you know what the gingerbread man put on his bed?
No.
Cookie sheets!
Mom, what do elves study in school?
What?
The alphabet.
Oh my gosh. Hey, groovy buddies. Wishing you a very happy holidays. Love from Brooke and Jack.
Bye.
Ho, 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 ho.
And everybody that is a fan of True Love or one of the buddies know Jack jokes. And so they had to get the Jingle Jack jokes in for the holidays. And I want to just send out some love because Brooke was going to be with us, and due to some family issues, she is not. However, she is very well loved and being thought of at this very moment in time.
Mm-hmm.
With that, yes, thank you, Brooke and Jack. We've got to love it, love it. And I want a hats off to Brooke and Jack in that when you think about going into the holiday and then into the new year, and we've been through the season of giving. However, we've been encouraging that the season of giving is all year round. And this group right here is evidence of that. This is a leadership group that gives to our community. And I want to encourage others is to see that Brooke and Jack, that's a mother-son duo team. And Jack is our junior ambassador. He comes in and he serves our community on a worldwide level. What an opportunity for this young man. And he has now for years. And what a great example for a mom that's busy, has her own business, is a volunteer, and is also raising a young man to give to the world. I want to say thank you for that example. And thank you for our version of Jingle Jack jokes. Now we have some songbirds with us, and then we have some that can't hold a tune. I love that. I'm just going to say that right off the bat, and I'm going to welcome any of our songbirds that want to answer anything in any kind of a singing way. Feel free to. I don't know if you have your guitar handy, Skip. However, if you don't, I always have some film ready to go. And those that may not know, we have, I have to say, Barbara Beckley held out for the longest time. She has an amazing voice, and she didn't let us know until we thanked one of our guests that came on to the Tour of Love, Melissa Manchester. And we did a love notes thank you for her. And Barbara sang hers. And I was like, okay, you've been holding out. So, I'm just letting people know that, I did say that we have original music that is loaded up. Yes, always is. And wow, she's looking for a red bus these days. That goes along with the holidays. I'll tell you that. It would, and yeah, do not let me sing because whenever we do, I'll just be the buck, butter, buck, 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 buck. And thank you, Amy, for that. So, what I would love to do right now, as we're visiting for the holidays, I am going to throw it out there. Who has any kind of holiday traditions that you would like to share? I know one from someone, but I'm not going to say anything yet until I start seeing who wants to, step up. And I'll start because it's one that I wasn't able to do this year, and that can happen. And and that is sometimes we're away from our family, one way or another. And we used to get together at my house. We had that revolving door and everybody would come over and, stop in. I always had extra wrapping paper because I wanted, wink, wink, I wanted them to come to my house and wrap presents because I got to see them that way. There was always a reason. And we would do is on Christmas Eve, whenever whoever was there, we would have a traditional little, we're Southern California, we'd have like a Mexican meal. We would all get together. We would read from the good book, the story, because I do practice Christmas. We would read the Christmas story, and then we would have, we would get to open one gift if there were gifts under the tree. Some years there were, some years there weren't, but we would open a gift of love, and that might be opening our hearts to share a story to someone else. And that is a Christmas tradition that I missed last night. But what I did was I went and unwrapped some gifts of love that were given by the people that are here on this panel that were created in 2019. And I want to say thank you for that, because I was able to keep my tradition going with my extended family that is here, and volunteers and people throughout the world that work with us in our cause. So I wanted to say thank you for that. And then also that I came up with this morning, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to let this beat me. So we are going to have a Zoom, and we're going to do something like what we used to do and get together between Christmas and New Year as a family unit. So that's what I wanted to share with this amazing group. So who would like to go next? Barbara.
Thank you, Queen. Well, the tradition that I started for myself a long time ago, it's been now 20 years. Ooh, when I say it, I'm like, Dad, that's a long time. But a good thing. A long time ago, and this is from my job. So every year they have Christmas giveaways for children that are in need, that can't get gifts, or their family can't get them any gifts because either they're homeless or they just low on budget or just don't have the money, and they had to buy things like food and clothes and stuff like that. So they came to us and they said, well, anybody that wants to, and what we do is we basically are like the Santa elves, they call us, and we can pick how many children we want. Now, the first year, I was like, okay, because I don't have any children. So I was like, okay, this is a good time for me to still give to the children and help them celebrate Christmas. First year, when they said, oh, you could, pick how many children. Well, Barbara got really happy and picked 25 children.
25.
And it's funny because the person that was over it at my job, they sent me an email. They said, Barbara, we noticed that you picked 25 children. We love you. Your heart is so open. But do you understand that you have to get a gift for each one? and they gave us a list, like the kids would write down and tell us basically what they wanted. They picked like 3 things that they want. And I mean, some of them was like way out there, like, oh, I want my whole bedroom decorated, or, oh yeah, I want a new little car, or, I want this. I was like, oh Lord, I got 25 kids they want. Now I really felt like a parent, with a lot of children after that. But I was, and I believe, God and Jesus, and blessed me with having the money, having the funds in order to get the gift for each individual child. So, and we were able to basically come where they were, to see them open the gifts every year. And oh my God, it was like heaven on earth, just to see those children with the smiles over just something like having like some hair utensils, like, accessories, or just, having a little doll that they never even had before. Or, with the boys, I mean, they were just happy alone, just getting in. I mean, just thankful for getting anything. So, I just said this to give, so use the gift of giving, and, the year of giving and everything. But I always want to tell people, it's nice to do it on the holidays because that's what they look for, especially as children, but try to do that around the year. I started doing that not just on the holidays, but I do it now throughout the year. I don't do the 25, but I do a little bit smaller, but still, hopefully I'm giving from my heart, and they take it as that. So that's my tradition every year. I've been 20 years now.
I love that. And may I say that, you're going right along with the philosophy my grandfather always used to say, and that was, he didn't always have the funds at a particular day, yet when he did and he wanted to give something special, he figured all year round was his opportunity to share the love of the season. It's an attitude and a mindset. So thank you for that. Who would like to be next?
Well, that's a hard one to follow, but I'll go next.
Okay. All right.
Beautiful, Barbara. Oh, one of the things that I do, and it's something I actually recently have started, but it's, I tend to be somebody who does give a lot throughout the whole year. And so I have a tradition of giving to myself at Christmas time. And it sounds selfish to say, but this year in particular was amazing. I was able to just go and take some.
Okay, we're having a hard time hearing you, I think.
Able to let go of all of the layers of everything that I hold all year long forever. You can't.
Andrea, we're having a hard time hearing you.
Hello.
We lost Andrea's sound. We were hearing you and then it went out.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now it's better. Okay, keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember where was I at?
Giving it to yourself, and then it started going down from there.
Yes. But what it allows me to do is because I hold so much throughout the year, and I give constantly. I'm an energy worker and a healer. And so I'm constantly giving out energy. I'm constantly having stuff come in that I help organize and move energy for people all the time. And I finally had somebody say to me, you give so much, you need to do this for yourself. And so that was where it started, was really taking a time for myself. And it allows me to return to that state of that rest, but also it's almost like a time hidden behind time, where there's just the spark of beauty and creation and awe and reverence, and just being able to really hold dear all that life is really about. It's so easy to get caught up in the doing of everything. Mm-hmm. And so this is one tradition that I have so that I can come back and be restored and refull and ready to be able to fully participate in everything that's going on in the busyness of the holidays and my children's lives and everything else. So that's something that I do. And I feel silly for saying it because it was all about me, but really it helps me feel about everybody else.
And I thank you for sharing that. And I want to just point out that during this busy time that we need to be aware and take care of ourselves. And if we need that extra sleep, listen to our bodies, listen to, be in tune, because that will help us to be able to have the energy to spend with those that we love and going and see the new year and such things. So no, that was beautiful. And thank you for sharing that. So appropriate. Absolutely. And a great point for all of us. If you guys brought a pen and paper, which we do encourage with this show, write that down. Note to self, take care of self. Okay. Who would like to go next? We have Caroline and Skip. Who is next?
I'll go next.
Okay. We have Caroline.
So the last few years, I have made baked goods that I give out to like my family and friends. So this year I had a new recipe, and I had made Christmas bars. So I'll be taking them like to my family, and I have a few friends that I'll be giving it out to. And throughout the year, I do a lot of kindness to others, taking care of a friend of mine, his mother taking her shopping and stuff like that. So always remember just to do one act of kindness a day, because you just never know what smile you're going to put on somebody's face. And that's what I do for a tradition since 2018. I've been doing this.
We would say you're the show coordinator for this show, for the Service Hero show, for Tour of Love show, for all the shows that we've on. I want to say thank you to that. And that's a gift of service because you do that as a volunteer. And I want to recognize that. And as we would say for the Service Hero show is that we all have a service hero inside. And so appropriate and so beautiful. And I want to also suggest in this way of thinking is if you know someone that's okay, that's your beautiful dog. If you know someone right now that is alone, and especially any of the areas that are so hit right now with this unusually cold weather and odd weather, to check in with them. Phone call, something, make sure that they're all right, especially those that are alone, because we want to make sure that they're being nourished and they are protected and they are all right. So thank you for that.
Well,
Skip,
you're
up.
Sorry for the dog barking, but
you're talking to the wrong person. Don't say wrong. don't say sorry for dogs, because we love them.
Yep.
Well, I forgot to mention that the last 2 years we've been celebrating Christmas with my husband's brother because he's alone. So that's what the barking is in the background.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you very much. And Skip, you're next.
Well, great. The as far as a tradition, I hear all these wonderful, and there's a lot of physical things that make a difference in people's lives, even in our own lives, of loving and appreciating ourselves, the gifts, the giving to the children. And if you look at, in our, and again, with Brooke, who's not on here, the gift of giving, the gift of service. I mean, that beautiful logo of the Tour of Love, I want to honor Brooke, who's not here, because we threw around ideas and she came up with this amazing, and it's a beautiful and it's fun and all that stuff. But in every one of those topics I just heard, and I've got my own physical things I used to do and we do as family, but there's a spirit behind each one of those. Every one of the things, even of loving and taking care of ourselves, which we tend to overlook sometimes. We each know that story and we talk a lot about it in the closed groups of the cancer groups and all that over the years. But look over the years, that spirit, the physical things and the shows all, have added up to amazing things that have been accomplished as traditions or service heroes in action. But bigger than even that is that spirit that inspired. Why are you doing that? For me, I've just gone through another hit of cancer. I know we talk about these things behind closed doors, but I haven't told you guys. I met you guys back when I was a cancer survivor from 2010. And that's how I connected when I heard the nonprofit and the things that Tamara was doing years ago. And how can we make a difference? Because you do all the physical things, you go and get the surgeries, the treatments, whatever. But the spirit of caring for one another who is going through that is magic. That is the gift. And that's what, like Barbara said, and you guys said, or all of you said, doing this every day in our lives is a part of that. For me, we do, I guess one of the things that when you first asked that question, the physical part was throughout my Christmases and even throughout the year, there were some tough times, just like in 2010. Was I going to make it? My odds were not good. Back just a few months ago, back in late summer, I was diagnosed again, and it was pretty scary. And I had a couple surgeries and treatments, and that ended about a month ago. And I'm still gaining, but I'm good, and I'm cancer free. But the spirit of you go through a moment in, be it business or economy or just the cold weather, is how do you overcome the challenges? And through community and relationships and family and friends, um, and for me, I'm a filmmaker and like to write music and hope people, are hard of hearing sometimes when I play it, but I enjoy it. But It's a Wonderful Life was a movie that I probably watched 100 times, even during the summer. It's a Christmas movie. A lot of people are watching it. If you haven't watched it, I refer to the Frank Capra style of telling stories, but that saved my life so many times. And George Bailey, who went through some tough experiences, thinking that, why am I here? That, I'm not doing this right, or the insurance, it's like, why am I even here? I'd be better off if I wasn't here. And God sent this little angel named Clarence, which one of the comments says, yeah, you look like the kind of angel I'd get. and same here. But what happened was Clarence showed George Bailey the impact that they made in other people's lives. And if you look at each of you and the people that are in here on the show, I see all these names and people we've known for years. And over the years, if you look at the impact that, yeah, you did physical things, but the spirit has become infectious and empowering and inspiring. You know that. I mean, you inspire me, and the music and so forth. So, for me, the tradition is really a reminder of how powerful that spirit is within each of you. So I just want to honor that. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for that. And, Helene is saying that she understands about coming back, and that, yes, many of us throughout our lives have different ups and downs in our roads. And our roads are not always that straight open line, the big, I think of Southern California when you think of, the big freeways, and, everything's just like that 6-lane road. It's going straight. And if it curves, it only curves, because you got all those, you got 12 lanes, 6 going one way, 6 going another. And it doesn't do a lot of sharp turns or anything like that. But life is not always that big, huge road. It's going to be messy. It's going to be, we may be off-roading at times. We may be creating our own road and our own journey. We may be doing all of these things. And that is what life is all about. And that's one reason I love that story that you are talking about, Skip, and we've talked about and dissected. And in fact, I wrote about an article for this month about the very same thing, about It's a Wonderful Life, because when we really look at it, guys, and I love it at the very beginning when, the little girl, she's being held, and look, Daddy, the bell goes off. Teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. Now, whatever anybody thinks, whatever anybody's belief system is, when we hear a bell, I just want to say, when we hear a bell, I like to think that someone else has maybe done another act of kindness. Someone else has done something. Maybe it even is a bell going off in our own brain. Have we done that act of kindness? Maybe sometimes even we're feeling like, oh, I should do this. I should do this. I don't really want to do this, but I should do this. Then you hear the bell. It's like, okay, let's do this, right? And great conversation. Thank you, Norman. I appreciate that. And so, I really want to encourage people. Yes, ring cowbell for extra amount of kindness done. I love that, Christopher. Christopher, you are amazing, and love you. And so what I want to do right now is I want to share the newer version of the song that I was kind of referring to, that last night I was watching, that you guys, all of you participated in the version that was originally put together in 2019. And then Skip has an alter ego by the name of Poe when he is singing and doing his performances. And I'm actually not going to play the whole thing, but I'm going to play part of it because it is a little long. I want to play this and then go into the next segment.
There comes a time I look to the sky, a rainbow appears and I wonder why. I see your face above the clouds, your whispers heard among the crowds. So if you're asking if I've been cold, I have. And who can stand within the storm? I can. From sea to sea reaching, hand to hand, we are. And one may block our way, we climb and build a better day. We will. There's a reason, now's the time. Rivers to swim and mountains to climb. I'll hold your hand and we'll reach the shore. Shine a light for all to an open door. So if you're asking if I've been called, I have. And who can stand within the storm? I can. From sea to sea reaching, hand to hand, we are. And one may block our way, we climb and build a better day. We will. When they told me I felt so alone, to be on this journey I'd be on my own. Do I tell those I love, let go the memories yet undreamed of? If you're asking if I've been cold, I have. And who can stand within the storm? I can. From sea to sea reaching, hand to hand, I will. And one may block my way, climb and build a better day. I can. We will. So if you're asking if I've been cold, I have. And who can stand within the storm? I can. From sea to sea reaching, hand to hand, we are. And one may block our way, we climb and build a better day. We will.
ahead and went with the whole thing today because I thought, you know what? We couldn't go into a better segment now. And I want to just recognize Skip. Yes, that, you wrote this, you wrote the very first part of it after our big event. And it was basically, truthfully, as I was watching it last night, you gathered everybody together to say thank you to me. And yet it became a story that not only was a thank you to me with all of our group, because it was we will, I can, we will. And you got everybody to sing some of these beautiful voices here. But then you added to it later, and it was the journey that you went through the first time you were diagnosed with those words. And listening to it again today, here, as we end this year, go into the next year, it had to have even meant that much more. Is it the first time you've watched it since you went through your journey, your most recent one?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I'm sorry. Yeah, because that part was very personal that happened in 2010. About when they told me I felt so alone, and my odds were very not in my favor back in 2010. And was I going to let go of the dreams yet untold? Because I had a lot of things I wanted to do, and suddenly it was like, okay, different plan for you, Skip. Am I going to make it? Are those dreams never going to unfold? And then, just this last summer, those words, I remembered them, and they had special meetings when I wrote them back, looking back in 2010. Well, then they had special meaning right now. And really, just like you never know, each day's a gift, and we never know what's going to happen. And do we still believe and we still do it together? I can and I will, with my last breath, with my last footstep, and together we help each other. And that's what this journey has been about, and that's what is needed on this planet right now in so many ways, not just related to cancer. I mean, the cold, like you talked about, or issues of health, or what, I mean, just dealing with, the conditions that so many people around the world are dealing with. We've got to come together as people. And the tour of love represented that. And I'm excited about what's coming as a relaunch. We're doing more and more, but I'm excited because God has, or spirit, whatever you want to believe in, has given us another day, another chance, and it's a gift. And today, it's a wonderful life. I mean, what an appropriate story of George Bailey, and and realizing the impact we each have. So that gift. Thank you all for that gift.
Well, thank you. And thank you for sharing like you just did, because, I want to recognize the heart that has gone into it. And also let everybody know, when you're serving others and you're in that middle of serving, it's amazing how sometimes it comes back and serves you in ways that you just never saw. And this is evidence that it continues to serve. And in a time where it can be so easy to accept to be miserable, one can choose joy and to find the funny in some things too. Absolutely. Well said. Well said, Christopher. Absolutely. And so in the words, and so this is where I want to go in this next part, and let me know who wants to speak up. We've got enough time for everybody to share something, and that is when you really dissect what he is saying there. Yes, you went into the let go of the memories undreamed of. Yet when you look at sea to sea, reaching hand to hand, that have you been called? I have. And then who can stand against the storm? And all of these things. And the thing that I love about the song too is that, yeah, we may be facing a storm and we may be facing it collectively or alone. However, we never have to be alone because we can reach out, and that's what's also shared. And it can be local, it can be across the sea, and that we are all together. And that's what I also love about it. So what I would love to open up, because I can and we will. What do you see? What would you guys like to see coming out of today, going into this next week, preparing for the new year? And you all have servants' hearts. What would you like to share? What do you feel inspired to share after hearing the song and what Skip has just shared with us?
I'll share. I feel like all of us have a gift to be able to bring to one another. And sometimes it takes us overcoming our own limiting beliefs about ourselves to be able to tap into those gifts. But we all have gifts that we all need to share with one another. We all have insight into what the world is that is different from another person. And being able to share our own understanding of what life is and how to move into that place of overcoming and how to move into that place of strength is different for each one of us. And many of us feel all alone in our ways because we don't talk, we don't share. We only see a few things as example, and we think, well, I don't fit that example, so I must be alone. When really we all need to share what we have so that we can build from one another. And that's what I think of when I hear that hand in hand. It's bringing all of our gifts forward. It's not just physically standing hand in hand, but it's saying, here I am, here's my gifts, here's what I know, and I bring all that I have forward to hold hands with you as we all bring our gifts forward. And as we all bring our gifts forward, then I believe that we will all start to see more and more how incredibly creative and powerful and our ability to make our path straight, our ability to stand in the awe of what we envision for our life in this moment, even though the physical world might not yet show up that way, and be able to hold that space and allow anything that does not vibrate at that space to just fall away. And almost then just hold space and call in, allowing what we've been talking about, spirit and about God, allowing the unseen world to orchestrate our steps, and then have the courage to take the step when it shows up in front of us. And I think a lot of that comes from being in witness to other people who have taken the time and the courage to face those blocks that keep us hidden. To know that everybody has gifts to bring forward and to share. And I have little ones knocking on my door because they hear my voice.
Well, and 'tis the season. And thank you. Beautifully said. So beautifully said. Who would like to go next? Barbara or Caroline?
I'll go.
Okay.
When I hear the message hand in hand, it brings me to sharing the love and sharing the heart and spreading that message to each and every one of us, and that we are all here to stand together and to love each other, and I know I was a part of that song, and it was difficult for me 5 years ago. Sorry.
It's okay.
I lost my dad to cancer. Mm-hmm. And it was difficult because him and I didn't have, a very good relationship. So that's why I put my heart and my kindness out there now to share it with everybody. Sorry.
No sorries.
No sorries.
I just want people to understand that we're here for you, and I want you to just bring your heart and your stories because we all want to hear them. Mm-hmm. And beautiful. That's why I came today, because today marks 5 years.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. And I know that there are many that needed to hear that right this minute. I absolutely know it for a surety. So thank you for sharing that. Barbara, I'm going to put you in the, I won't call it a mush pot, but some would. Let's go.
Well, just coming off of the two wonderful queens that talked about the biggest thing that I've been saying, and I'm going to put this up here because I always have my little trinkets around my house, and it says "Love is always the answer." Everybody can see that, and talking about coming together, we need to make sure we have the empathy and compassion for each one. And there's no level. Like some people feel like, well, this person, is going through this and this, so we all that's something really big. So we got to run over there. Yeah, you got to run over there. But if a person is just lonely or they're having certain thoughts saying that maybe they don't love each other right, love themselves or whatever, we got to run to that too. So there's no different levels of showing the different compassions to each other. It's like there's just one level, and that's showing the love to them at the time of need that they need. And I think when we come together, like if I'm having a bad day and Tamara texts me, and she does this, she doesn't even know this, but it happens all the time. She catches me on a day when I might be dealing with something, and when she shows that little text or just that little heart she sends or just a smiley face, it just brightens my whole day. That's like a gift to me for a long time because I needed it at that point. Just like Caroline, we need right now. She's dealing with the fact, she lost her king, her dad. And we should be compassionate to that and, pull those virtual arms, make a phone call, a text. So I feel like going into the new year, we need to show that compassion and bring that impact to each other because it's much needed now, especially in the world we live in right now. Mental health is real. And I keep telling people that over and over again. It's really needed. And if you feel the urge or the need to reach out to anybody, it can be somebody that you're like, well, I don't really like that person that much. You need to override that because you don't know what that person needs at that point. You could be saving a life. So make sure that you reach out, show that compassion, make that impact in somebody's life. And that little smile is a huge impact. So I just want to just say that when we come together, like Tamara said, hand to hand, and we can and we will, as Mr. Skip says. So loving it. Thank you, Tamara.
Well, and I want to recognize something, and Skip might have just about to too, and that is, well, I'll let you because it was that one of her signs that started the whole song, right?
The song would not have happened if that wasn't for that lady over there holding up a little sign that said, "We can, we will," and that's like, oh my God, that's a song, and that song would not have happened. And you talked about a little bitty thing, doing a little thing, getting a little text message. That song would not have happened had you not held up that little sign. Little things go have a big impact.
And as we round about, because we've got 5 minutes or so right now before the end of the show, what I want to put out there for anybody that wants to jump in right now, and that is about the love. That 4-letter word, I love it. Let me just put the mush pack. Let's just do this right here. You're going into the middle right there. I love it, Skip, because guys, anybody that knows Skip Thomas, maybe back in the day, with his big stuff that he was doing, this is the Skip Thomas that works with us now, and we love him, and he just is an amazing soul. All of this group, this panel today, can I just recognize each and every one right now from the chair that I sit in, and that is everyone has stood up and organized and volunteered and been a leader and shown up sometimes when it's not necessarily even easy to serve others. And right now, as was just shared, this is a period of time right now, unlike others where and we've got the monkey love that's showing up. Not all my stuff is unpacked yet, but yeah, the monkeys, because we used to have the whole monkey thing, going on. And guys, what it is that we can find some joy in small things. And as we are preparing for this next year, people need the love more than maybe ever right now. And so many right now, even during this holiday season, because we have one of the biggest storms that has ever taken place in North American continent, taking place and has been, and there's been a lot of problems from it. But we have people from all over the world, and I want to recognize all of you all over the world that come here and join us. And it's the small things that can make a big difference. And that small word that all of you guys have touched on, and that is love, because love is that frequency, love, self-love, love of others, love of those little signs that remind us every day, sending a little emoji, if nothing else, just you're feeling someone and you want to at least let them know. It's those little moments that can make a huge difference in someone's life. And we are preparing for next year to go back with the Tour of Love, second season. And it is, yes, we have some stuff unwrapped. We haven't let it be known yet that some of the things that we're working on yet. Skip is in deep with it, and some others, and we know how big this is going to be. And guys, whatever you think you're thinking, think much bigger than that, because right now is a time that our world needs it more than ever, and that's what we are preparing for this next year. So as we go around the horn and you want to say something, we've got 3 minutes to wrap it up. What would you like to share? I want to just share this, that all we need is love. It's the song, right? All we need is love. And love someone else today. When you get your phone out, send some hearts out and see what happens. Magic. Okay, who would like to go next?
Well, I'll just jump in and just say, that love is the key. And let's just stay on. I'll stay on that point, because that's what, as we round this corner, and we've talked a lot about in the years about vibration, this ladder of going, up the scale to love, gratitude, joy. And those are high vibrations. Those radiate to other people's hearts. It's science. And right now, there's a lot of fear and guilt and frustration, even anger. Those are very low. So, what we can do, be it music, be it smiles, little emojis, anything we can do to help elevate that to love, that's, the impact it has that each of you have. That's got to be in every breath, every step I take. And it's easy to get pulled down, but that's this next year for me.
Awesome. Andrea, I see you ready to go.
So a couple of things to follow what Skip's just said too, is also for us to send love from our hearts just out into the world, and how that makes a huge difference. And then when we have those promptings, yes, to send the extra messages too. But as we hold those vibrations within ourselves and allow it just to radiate out to every aspect, subconscious, full conscious, everywhere in the universe, every human we know, that is all felt, whether they're conscious of it or not. Yes. And for our own personal experience, something that came up when Barbara was talking was people going through this time where it can be hard right now, to really take time to know that if you are facing something where you are feeling down, to take a moment and reflect and ask if you are comparing yourself to someone else or something else, and to allow yourself to cut off that comparison and create a bubble around yourself, so that you can start to see your beautiful aspects that maybe somebody in your world can't see, but that you can see. And allow this space for this to develop and for this to grow, even just for yourself. You might even want to light a candle and spend a few moments focusing on the flame, and then inviting that flame to come and live in your heart. Is that flame of love, of purity, so that you are creating this bubble around yourself. And then as you grow within this little bubble, it'll naturally trickle out into your world around you. We live so much wanting the outside world to reflect back to us what we feel inside. And when that doesn't happen, we really have to make sure that we can protect ourselves and create that for ourselves.
Thank you so very much for that. And we are out of time. I wanted to give you some time, Barbara and Caroline. We will have you back on and share the love some more, because you guys are a part of the tour of love. And we want to say to everyone around the world, thank you for joining us. You are absolutely fabulous, and that you are loved. Find the love and let's share it out there, and enjoy the balance of today. Be there for next week. And next week, it will be New Year's Day. Bye, everyone.